Hey folks, welcome to iHeart Board Games, where today we're bringing you a top 10 of our favorite small box games. So this is anything that's in a Codenames size box or smaller. I think I only have one of them on here that is Codenames size box, and it's not Codenames. Although Codenames is a great game, it didn't make even my honorable mentions.
Codenames Duet made my shortlist.
That's good. Well, let's talk about your shortlist.
I love Duet.
Codenames Duet. It's actually my favorite form of Codenames.
Yeah, I love it.
I haven't played Pictures, even though I have it behind me right now on my small.
Apparently you can mix and match. Put some pictures and some words.
Yeah. I just haven't played Pictures by itself. And then, what was that Disney I have behind me? I think I played that like once. I'm just not a Disney fan. So
I'm not a Disney adult, so it's not going to happen for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have a few honorable mentions here. I specifically didn't put Fuji Flush on my list because I've been talking about it in every video we make. So I'm like, let me talk about something different. Although Fuji Flush could have absolutely been number one because I love that game.
Yeah. But we had to shuffle things around. So one of mine is Archaeology, which I've also been talking about in several videos. It's in my honorable mentions. I think it's fine in the honorable mentions here, because it's not one I break out a lot unless I'm going on a trip. It's one of them that I keep in the photo boxes, which I keep back there. I made a video about it. But basically, if it can fit in a 4x6 photo box, I put it in there. And so it's easy to take around 16 games in one suitcase. So then we'll play it then. But otherwise, it doesn't really come out on a game night. I'm hoping this new setup that I have, that where you can read all the games, maybe things will come out more. It wasn't always like that. But what's another one you got?
Another honorable mention I have was Scout. We just talked about that in another video.
Yeah.
I don't know what order these will come out in, but if you haven't seen a video about Scout, it's a ladder climbing game. Yeah. Very small box. Maybe the smallest box on this list. Great.
I don't own that one. I've considered getting it, but so many people I know have it. And it wasn't really high on my list yet. It's winning me over slowly, but not quite yet. Mm-hmm. So one that's on my list is a little game that comes in a bag, actually. It's called Hive.
Yeah.
It's a 2-player tile game. Well, not tile. I guess tile placement. Yeah. But each tile does something different. It's more like chess, I would say. And yeah, your goal is to make sure their queen doesn't move. It's a 2-player chess-like game. If you like chess, you'll probably like Hive.
But it's about bugs. If you don't like bugs.
If you don't like bugs, you might not like Hive.
Yeah, and I have two more honorable mentions. One is Anomia, which was actually introduced to me by Melissa.
Yeah.
And then I ended up buying it.
Did you?
Yeah, at a secondhand store. And it's just a good one to get out at the beginning, get everybody stressed out real fast.
Yeah.
You're trying to lay down something that's in someone else's category before you're trying to say something that's in a category before someone else says something in another category. So like maybe you have cereal in front of you and mine has like sports figures or something. I have to name a cereal before you name a sports figure. And of course I could name 150 cereals. Until that moment, I can't think of a single cereal.
That's exactly my experience with that game. It's frustrating. But, I mean, I guess I could see it being fun, but it's too stressful for me. I can't handle it. My last honorable mention, which may be on your list, Skull.
Skull was on my short list, but it ended up at 17, so it's not on the list.
Oh, okay. So this is on my honorable mention. It's just so much fun to play Skull. Anytime we break it out, we have a good time with Skull. It looks wonderful. My cards are actually getting worn out.
Yep.
So I'm glad they came out with the new printing.
Oh.
So it has the pink box, yeah. Mm-hmm. Right now we have the purple box. I'll probably keep the box the same and replace all the insides if it's better. Or, maybe I don't
know. I like the pink box. It really...
Yeah, pops off the thing.
It's
you can't even see it back there, can you? Skull, it's right here.
Yeah, the purple box blends in. That pink box, you notice it.
Yeah.
My last honorable mention is Fox in the Forest.
Love it.
Yeah, it's a little 2-player trick-taking game.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd said that to me 10 years ago, I would have been like, you're a fool. No such thing exists. But it works. It really does work. It works well.
And Duet also.
I have never played Duet. Is that the co-op version? Of that? Okay.
Which I think is an easier idea to take in, I think, than a competitive 2-player trick taker. If it was co-op, yeah, I could see it doing that. Because, we have stuff like the crew now to, get us there. But yeah, I played this one recently and I really like it. I taught it to somebody because I was like, I kind of remember it, but didn't really. But they had just bought it. So
like the numbers have different powers, I think.
Yeah. No, it's a fun one. It's a good one.
It's cute too.
Yeah, the art's really good. So now we're going to talk about our proper top 10. And I'm going to start us off, I guess, with number 10. This is a game that's come up on other lists, so I'll be brief about it. But it's Counterfeiters at my number 10 spot.
Talk it to death because no one knows what this game is.
Yeah, that's a good point. So this is one, I guess I have two that are the same size as a Codenames box. My other one will come in a later time, but Counterfeit is about the same as a Codenames box. This is a worker placement game. In fact, it's a lot of game in a small box because it's about a 60-minute game where you're trying to make some money doing different counterfeity things in a worker placement with animals.
It's fun to get into it.
Sure.
It's fun to like role play a little.
I mean, you're animals too. It's like, figure out the story why your animal is counterfeiting some money.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you like worker placements, if you like to carry around a small box, Counterfeiters, you need to check that one out. Mm-hmm. Art by Ian O'Toole.
Oh.
Yeah.
How about that?
It's one of the first times I heard his name.
Wow. Strange.
Yeah.
Okay.
2017. So
my number 10 is a roll and write, which I think a lot of roll and writes are in little boxes, so that makes sense.
Yep.
It's actually a series of games.
The
this one
on
I'm
list.
Gonna choose is Railroad Ink. Deep Blue.
So it is on my list. We'll talk about it later.
Okay, let's do that.
But so my number 9 is Hanamikoji.
Oh man, if I'd thought about that, I would have absolutely put it in my list.
That's an excellent game.
Forgot that game is superb. It probably would have been my number 1. That is a really great game.
Yeah. So if you don't know about it, it's a 2-player game where there's very few decisions to make, but they're so juicy in their decisions. You only have 4 things you can do, but the 4 things matter in how you do it.
Yeah, the way they designed that game, they just come out with a new version that is bigger than a Codenames box.
I didn't know about that.
It's a deluxeified version
cool.
with all this other stuff in there. I haven't gotten a chance to play it, but I have a friend who has it, so I need to do that. It's just we're never two.
Yeah, that's another reason it doesn't come out. We're never two.
And that game is just, you only can do these like couple of things, and each one is like, oh man, I want to do that, but if I do this, I
don't want to give you this thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's times you're splitting your hand up and giving them parts. It's a simple concept. There's 7 rows in the middle. Your job is to win 4. So it's a simple game. Could play in 20 minutes, I would say.
Yeah, if you both know how to play, for sure.
But most of your times we're going like, yeah, Hanamikoji. Go check that out. It's on BGA if you haven't played it.
Cool.
Your number 9?
My number 9 is one we've talked about a little bit before. Yo ho ho.
Yo ho ho. That's on my list.
Okay, well, we'll talk about Skull King a little later.
Yeah, so my number 8 is The Resistance. This was my original introduction to social deduction games. So it still has a soft spot in my heart because when it comes out, I still have a good time with it. There are better social deduction games out there now, but we're talking about games smaller than Codenames.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like Secret Hitler more. Some people are put off by that what is it?
Theme,
yeah. And then there's a better one that's higher up on my list as well.
Okay.
That is in a smaller box.
Stay tuned.
But The Resistance, it's old school, simple.
Trader
mechanism. Yeah. You're split
Social
into teams.
deduction,
And
yeah,
it comes into play. Avalon is the next step, but I never really got into that.
Me either.
Yeah.
I never got into The Resistance. I've only played it like maybe twice.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. Okay, my number 8, we got introduced to because of Board Game Arena. And it's another trick taker. And frankly, if I hadn't traveled internationally, I might never have found a physical copy of this game. Papayoo.
Papayoo. I didn't put it on my list because I'm looking around the room when I was making this list.
And
And
you
it
don't
is not
have
in
it.
this room.
Aha. It comes in a metal tin. Think Sushi Go, but smaller. It's great. They did a good job with the tin, and I think it's just cards in there. Pretty sure there's just cards.
I wish I could help you on that.
The only thing that the only ding against Papayoo is the scoring.
It takes a while.
It's a lot of math in person. It's better on BGA because it does all the math for you. Sometimes the easiest way is to say, okay, there's 250 points to be earned that round. You've got 10 and you've got 30. We can math out how much this person has by subtracting those 10 and 30 from 250.
All right.
Versus, okay, now I need to add an 11 and a 10 and a 9 and a 13 and a 15 and a 40 and a 17. And it's like, I could do that math, but I don't have all day. Anyways, it's a great game. It's a little bit mean.
It's at a proper amount of mean.
But I still like it.
Yeah. It's like a take that in a way.
Definitely
Take
is.
this card.
It is.
Let's talk about Railroad Ink because that is my number 7. Yeah.
Nice.
Deep Blue, I agree with you. That's the one with the lakes.
Mm-hmm.
And rivers.
Mm.
But we mostly play lakes when it comes to playing on BGA.
I like the lakes the best.
Yeah. Other ones that have been online is the yellow, the green, the red. Of all those, I prefer the lakes. That's the only ones that I've seen online.
Mm.
The only one I own is the red because I bought that before we even played lakes.
I have all 4.
Yeah. Some people have all
I wish.
1,000.
Well, it's not like that exactly. There's really just 4.
Oh, there really is
The
4?
others are all like little mini expansions and stuff like that you can
I
get.
haven't done any research on it.
And I was not a backer of the Kickstarter. I wish I had been. I wish I had been able to get all the little things. But instead, I ended up one-offing every one of them. This one I got at this game store. This one I got on eBay. That one I got here. It just piecemealed what I was able to together. And I'm not sure that all of them have even been opened out of the shrink at this point because it's hard to get it to the table in person. People don't, my group does not like roll and writes.
That's right. You mentioned that.
One of my groups does not like roll and writes. And then the other problem is it is inherently a 4-player game at the table, or maybe it's a 6-player game. You're limited by how many of those things you have and how many, markers you have and all that.
Yeah.
So it's not like on the computer where you can play with just like a lot of people.
That's true. Even that has a limit.
But the other problem that I have with it in person is a lot of games, we're all policing each other to make sure we follow the rules. But in this game, you're meant to keep it secret when you write down what you draw.
True. It has a little shield that comes with it.
And on the computer, it polices you. But in person, there's no one policing myself. And when you have a bunch of people who've never played before, lots of people could be breaking the rules by accident.
I mean, yeah, that can happen with any physical game. You just hope that it doesn't.
It's just this one, you're hiding behind a little screen and you're doing your move. So I can't see exactly what you did over there. And then, everyone reveals, but I'm not going to go around and be like, well, let me check and make sure.
Each other's work.
Did you actually not break any rules here? And then if they did, it feels really bad to be like, okay, actually, you can't draw that there.
Right.
Still a good game, and I love it.
It's still a good game. Yeah, and the BGA experience, I think, only helps it. It's so easy to manipulate the dice and see what you got. Moving on to number 6.
No, I haven't done
Oh, yeah, you haven't done
yet.
a 7.
Yeah. My
That's
number
right.
7 is a social deduction game called Werewords.
Well, that is on my list.
I thought it might be, so we'll talk about it later.
Now we're moving on to number 6. Yo ho ho.
Hey.
Skull King for me.
Okay.
That was your number 8, 9? We've had so many
9.
overlaps already. I'm very confused.
9.
So, Skull King is a trick taker game where you get to pound the table and pretend you're pirates.
There we go. Yo ho ho. Oh.
That's not good at all. That's
We have talked about it in
best
other
way to describe
videos.
it.
It's a great trick taker one of its shticks is that you are starting with 10 cards and going down to 1, or is it the other way
Yeah.
around?
Yeah, so you start with 10 and you make bids on that, and then it goes all the way down to 1. Yeah, it reduces the 1, right?
I feel like it. No, you start with 1 card the first round and
The
go
other
up to
game
10.
does that. What game does that? We've been playing Wizard lately.
Yeah.
And Wizard goes the other way.
Yes.
Um,
No, it doesn't. Wizard starts with 1. It's Rage that starts the other, that ends with 1.
We've been playing a lot of Trick Takers on BGA.
Sorry.
Unfortunately, Skull King is not on BGA.
Come on, Grandpa Beck. Call him
Yeah.
up.
BGA will help your sales. Get on that. Now, I think Grandpa Beck's doing fine. In fact, you're probably doing so fine, Grandpa Beck. Send us some games and we'll review them.
Why do you keep calling out Grandpa Beck specifically?
That goes for everybody. If your name's not Grandpa Beck, you could still send us some stuff. So yeah, Skull King, check it out. Good trick taker.
Okay, my number 6. I just realized on BGG they've changed the name.
They don't do that too
I'm like,
often.
I have 135 plays of this game. I've never even heard of it before.
I know what it is.
Take 5?
I know what it is.
What
Yep.
the heck is Take 5?
It's a brand new 2024 game. Take 5.
It's called Six Nimmt.
Yep.
Six Nimmt is the name of it. You have that on your list?
I have 6 nymphs. No, I don't. I don't have it on my list. That one, we have a copy of it over there. It just didn't. I don't think it would have made my list anyway if I noticed it. It's a fine game. There's
I
a
prefer
lot of
professional
upkeep.
mode.
Yeah, I prefer for professional mode. Thank you.
I'm just kidding. I don't prefer professional mode. In fact, I just like the original basic game. And this one is pretty easy to teach new players. Once you start doing it a little bit, everybody's like, I got it. I get this. Okay, great. The first time someone takes that 6th card, they're like, oh, now I see. Now I see. Everything is clicking
Yeah.
into space.
Take
Yeah.
5 makes sense as a title. And professional mode is a setting on BGA, which I guess exists somewhere
A
physically in
variant
the world.
where you can put the cards on either side of the rows.
It kind of kills the Take 5 title, doesn't
I
it?
don't like it. Nope, it's still just.
You're still
the
taking
same.
5? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a fine game. It fell flat when Melissa brought it out here on a game day. It was a game day where she brought it out, and I was coming back from something kind of late, and she had to kick it off with everyone. And she brought out Take 5, 6 Nimmt, and everyone was so eager to get away from it.
It doesn't always play to the Uber gamer.
That could have been
The
it.
Uber gamers aren't always down for it, but noobs or just the muggles, the casual gamers,
Muggles.
they usually are like, oh, what is this? This is cool. I like this.
Yeah.
And it doesn't overstay its welcome. Once somebody reaches that certain number, I don't remember what it is right now, of points, the game is over.
You start at 66 and you go down to 0 on BGA, so I guess it's 66.
66 must be.
Yeah.
6 Nimmt. Makes sense.
6 Nimmt. Take 5 and maybe you only go to 50, 55.
Maybe you do.
My number 5, speaking of 5s, is a 2-player game I got in a trade. I don't do a lot of board game trades, but I decided to try one. I traded off Flip City and got back Mr. Jack Pocket, which is a 2-player version. I've never been a big Mr. Jack fan, the very few times I played it, but Pocket Mr. Jack is a completely different game. It's very good. It's a 2-player deduction game. One person's playing Sherlock Holmes, Watson, and the dog. The other people are manipulating the board to try to stop Sherlock from discovering all the suspects. And you manipulate the board by spinning tiles. And if you spin the tile to where Sherlock can't look down a certain street, just put the building in the way or whatever, then he can't investigate those people. So,
It fully is a different game.
yeah, it's very much a different game.
Wow.
It's a good game.
Okay.
But yeah, Mr. Jack Pocket. It has an app. That's how I've been playing it a lot. I don't think it's reached BGA. I think Mr. Jack is, but not Pocket. Try it out, though, on the
I
app.
have BGA in my pocket all the time right here.
Yeah. If
Okay.
it is, it's probably an alpha or something.
My number 5 is a little card game Actually, the first time I played it, it was even in a smaller box, but the one I have is in a slightly bigger box, still smaller than the Codenames box. And this is a game called No Thanks.
No thanks. I like no thanks.
It's a simple concept. You can take this card, or you can give a chip and say no thanks.
That's it.
Easy. If you don't have any chips, you're going to have to take that card. You don't want the card because it's points. Points are bad.
Yeah. I played this with my grandpa. He's like 90 something.
But there is one little stipulation, is that if your cards are in numeric order, in sequence, 5, 6, 7, 8, you only count the lowest one. So yeah, maybe taking that 33 is bad, but if you already have 32 and 31 and 30, it doesn't hurt you as much as the guy who has none of them. And he takes the 33. Boom, that's 33 points.
All of a sudden, that card has way more value to you, and you could just... It hurts.
Oh, I don't
else.
mind taking it, but I'm going to say no thanks so I can get more of your chips.
That's right.
Yeah.
I do like that.
It's a little cute little thought process that has to go on there.
Another one people can try on BGA.
Yeah.
It's so easy to just click
Don't
it.
play with too many players.
Yeah.
It will let you. Don't.
So that was your 5?
Mm-hmm.
We're on to number 4. This is another 2-player game. I think it's my last 2-player game on my list. Splendor Duel.
Wow. What a great game.
That one won me over. Like, I am not a huge Splendor fan, but Splendor Duel is really good.
That.
Yeah.
I fully agree with that statement.
It added just enough to still be Splendor, to reel in the old Splendor players, but changed it enough to reel in, I guess, gamers. It's really leaned a little bit more toward gamers. The choices are better. I like the extra bit of scroll stuff going on. Yeah, all around, it's just gotten to be a much better game than Splendor.
We played it, I know, on BGA, Board Game Arena, and then we immediately played it like 2 more times right after that.
Yeah.
Because it was like, okay, let's keep doing this.
Yeah, and Board Game Arena keeps up with all the putting out the chips and all that, so that helps with upkeep.
Yeah.
But yeah, Splendor Duel. Check it out. It's behind me. It's physically behind me, so you can't see it.
All right. My number 4 is a bunch of games, actually. It's kind of like a category of games. I originally wrote Exit the Game in this box, but I could have also written Unlock games there too.
Oh, okay.
It's just the board game escape rooms.
And not
there.
all are created equal, though.
No, but Exit the Game and Unlock are 2 brands that I feel do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
So those are the ones I'm going to specifically mention. There are others.
Echoes, Deckscape, some other ones.
There's some that aren't small enough to fit this category.
True.
The one with the machine that you put the keys into.
Right. If it has a machine, it's not small. Unlock, I think, fits it better. No matter what, you're only going to have a deck of cards in Unlock.
The Exit the Game boxes are almost all.
Except
there
for
are
like
some
the calendar
exception
ones.
or like with the puzzle. They have ones that have jigsaw puzzles in them.
Yeah, or the
But
advent calendars.
The regular Exit the Box, the original Exit the Box game, all come in those small boxes. And those ones I like because, I don't like that they're one-time use because you have to tear things up usually and write on it. But I also do like that because it gives them so much more flexibility to involve really crazy, wacky puzzles.
Yeah.
And make you involve parts of that you never would have thought to involve.
And I'm glad they've been successful because there's still so many out there I haven't done.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some on my shelf of shame right now, but I don't feel shameful about it because they're just waiting for
They'll
the right
get done.
day.
Yeah, because once you play, it's over.
That's right.
It's not like, oh, I don't get to dive into this and really learn the intricacies. No, I'm just going to play it once. That's the plan.
The jigsaw puzzle ones don't fit the bill because they're too big, but we enjoy the jigsaw puzzle ones. They have 4 mini jigsaw puzzles inside.
Oh, that's where you like put together the puzzle and then find things afterwards?
The image of the puzzle is part of the next part. Yeah.
Huh. Haven't tried
So
that.
in the regular Exit, it's usually like a book of pages, and you get a page that has an image of where you're trying to escape from or whatever. In this case, you build out that page. It's a jigsaw puzzle that you build.
Not a big jigsaw puzzler.
I unfriend you.
Yeah. My number 4, 3. Werewords. That was on your list, right?
Hey.
Yeah, so we could talk about that.
I have like 150 plays of this.
I mean, if I tracked them all, probably would be that because we would play it over and over and over and over again. This takes Werewolf, which is a game Melissa doesn't like, makes it a game she does like. Werewords.
By adding 20 questions into the mix.
Yeah, and a lot of people say, "Oh, it's just Insider," but I really feel like those are different games.
They are.
Yeah, Insider did not work with the group that I played it with, but Werewords works great, and that's why it's on my number 3.
Yeah, I mean, my spouse also does not enjoy social deduction, but will play Werewords because you don't really need to lie. It's actually much more strategic than that. You need to ask questions in a way that will paint you in a certain light.
Yeah.
And so you need to be more clever. It's not just about, I'm not the werewolf. It's not that. It's like, I'm going to ask a question that will help serve my needs. And I don't have to pretend to do anything. Yeah,
you can, even if you're the werewolf, you can just be like, I'm just not going to think this time. I'm not going to be, I'll ask some questions.
There's no requirement to do it or to lie.
Yeah. Werewords, check it out. One I wish would make it to like a board game arena, but I just don't know how they would do that like effectively. So what's your number 3?
My number 3 would fit with who you have in your lap right now.
Well, I have.
You're looking like a cat lady. Except you're not a lady, but yeah.
She put her head down.
Cat lady. I think the box is small enough.
It is definitely small enough. We fit it into one of those photo boxes in the back. I considered it. I saw it.
I have all the expansion content, so my box is not really sitting flush anymore. But
yeah,
I can bring this out for anybody.
Oh, she poked her head up.
Although occasionally somebody will say, "Oh, I don't like cats." Who cares? It's a game.
It's okay. It's made of cards. It's made of paper.
The cats can't hurt you. They're super cute, and you're putting costumes on them and collecting toys.
I mean, that's a side topic altogether. People who have just outright banned games from their life because of the theme, especially a non-dangerous theme like that.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be that way. I used to be like, space, I'm not going to play that.
Right.
But I realized that that's not the way to be.
Yeah, you've found some nice games in space, like Pulsar and some other cool ones. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we have some people in our current game group who will not play games because of certain themes.
I get it if it's a theme that's offensive, like. Sure.
Yeah, no one has to play anything.
Puerto Rico used to. I mean, I think they used to have slaves in that game or something.
Sure.
It's like, okay, I can understand not wanting to play that. I get it. Or Secret Hitler. I get why you would not want to play that. But this is cats. You're playing a silly little cat lady. You don't even have to actually like role play or anything.
Cats clawed me once.
You're just collecting cards. That's it.
Yeah. Treat it like a Halloween game. Like, I
mean, I don't like
bring
tuna.
Out the fear.
But that doesn't mean I should say no to cat lady because there's tuna in it.
I can't drink milk. All right. Number 2 is Just One.
It was on my short list.
That is my other game that is about the same size as a Codenames box. Mm-hmm. This game still comes out for a group on BGA often. Comes out here physically in person quite often too. It's a co-op game where you're all working together. One person doesn't know what the word is, but everyone else does and can only write just one word to get them to say the secret word. And if anybody has the same word written on their little placard, yeah, that gets knocked out. And the person that has to guess the word just has to go with what's left. It's a fun game.
I love the balance of I want to write a word that is obviously going to point towards cheese. I want to write mozzarella, but I am afraid someone else is also going to write mozzarella. So I need to write something more obscure that points to cheese, but not so obscure that 4 obscure words don't lead back to cheese.
And then you end up with a game where everyone wrote every obscure form of cheese.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Your best bet is if you really know the people at the table, you can write something that's kind of like an inside joke with that person. You know no one else is going to write it, but they're going to immediately know what you're talking about.
Yep.
You know, if I had written Admiral, you would immediately go Daddy in your head, you know.
True. Yeah. If you know people, that helps more.
But nobody else at the table is going to write that.
This is a tough game to play at like a library meetup night where you don't know everybody at the table.
Oh, I think it's fun then.
It's fun. Yeah, but you can't share in the laughter and the
It's
fun.
different.
It's different.
But it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun to a level. But anyway, that's my number 2.
Yeah, it was like a Spiel des Jahres winner or nominee or something. So,
Probably, yeah.
Pretty good game.
Pretty good.
My number 2 is Incan Gold.
Incan Gold. I think I played that one before.
I have played it so much, and it was in my top 10 games of all time in 2021. So I don't need to talk about it a lot, but it's a push your luck game.
Oh, I wonder if it'll come back for this year. I bet that video is going to be on this channel sometime soon.
I have a feeling it will be. It's very Indiana Jones thing. You're archaeologists trying to dig down deeper and get the gems and get the treasures. And it's just this great decision of, do I stay or do I go? That's all you have to decide. Stay or go. If you go, there's a chance you could get the stuff that's already been discovered. But if you stay, what new things might you discover? And then, of course, you just get murdered by spiders.
Naturally. I don't like spiders. I won't play that game. No, that's a fun game. I always lose because push your luck is the bane of me. If I could control my pushing of luck, maybe I'll be a little better at push your luck games, but...
I have a brand new copy of that game. It came with meeples. Does yours have meeples in it?
Absolutely not. What are they for?
Who's still in?
Like you
their
physically
meeple,
move down the thing?
You move down the thing, and then when you leave, you take your meeple away. So you can see there's 3 people left, green, blue, and yellow.
It should have been like that from the beginning.
I don't feel it's needed, honestly.
Really?
I mean, if you're playing with like 8 people, maybe, but then I don't know who's every color. Like, I don't know whose color is which.
But you could tell the number of what the split is, at least.
Yes, that's true. But what ends up ultimately happening is people forget to take their meeple away when they leave. So it still looks like there's 5 people in when there's actually only 2 people in. I know, but I've done this now 20 times with those meeples, and I know the pitfalls.
Hey, that's kind of a Incan Gold almost reference. Something that can kill you. Mm-hmm. So that was your what, number 2? Mm-hmm. We're on to number 1. Amazing. So just like these 2 number 1 games we're about to tell you about, my number 1 is a game I first played with Ronald on BGA, and it is my number 1 game for small box games. It's Force Shuffle.
I don't remember this game. I don't know what this is. So what is this? Can you
Force
explain
Shuffle,
it?
it's a big stack of cards that can do a lot because you have these trees that can have certain animals to the left and right, up, down, left, right. And that's pretty much the game, is that you're playing these trees and getting points, but it's all about how you want to strategize in the way that you get your points. So do you want to do a strategy that involves bunnies, or do you want to do a strategy that involves just having a bunch of trees, or maybe just putting out butterflies? And even the expansion, the Alpine expansion, I think they did a lot with 36 cards. That's all it is. Like, add 36 cards, take 10 originals away, and go. It's such an easy expansion to add. That's why it's in my list at number 1 for Shuffle. Yeah, it's a big table hog.
Them trees look like Arboretum. They look a little Arboretum-y.
Yeah, I can see that.
The new version of Arboretum.
Now, Arboretum's way more colorful, but and mean.
Ooh.
Tree games are mean.
Neither of us talked about Arboretum today.
No.
Spoiler alert, it's not my number 1.
So we used to have Arboretum, culled it. Somehow another copy ended up in our house because Melissa saw it at a thrift store or something. I was like, oh, I'll get that. Not the only game she's rebought.
Sounds right.
So strange.
Sounds right.
What's your number 1?
Llama.
Llama,
another Spiel des Jahres winner or nominee.
I know this Llama.
This is the Gamers Uno, is what it was originally billed as. What a great game. I bring Llama and Fuji Flush to every game night, no matter where I'm going. They can both fit in my pocket.
Yep.
Very little, just a little deck of cards. You can teach it super fast. You don't even need to be able to play Uno to do it. It's like play the same number or the next number. And the numbers only go to 6. And in between 6 and 1 is the llama. The end. There's a couple other little rules, but you're really just trying to go out. And what you'd really like to do is get 10 points. Even though points are bad, you'd love to get 10 points so that when you go out, you can lose all 10 of those points at once. Yeah, you could lose 1 point, but losing 10 points, that's great.
Yeah.
And then the decision, I love these chunky decisions of, do I keep playing, keep drawing, or do I quit? Because if I quit, I only have to take points for what's in my hand, and duplicates don't count. But if I keep playing, I might be able to go out and get rid of this tenor chip. I drew a friggin' llama. I should have quit.
So that first game, Llama, is the best of the Llama series, in my opinion, because we played Llama Dice.
I have not played it.
You sure? Played it at Dice Tower Con.
Cool. I don't remember that.
Melissa and I played it, and then y'all showed up and we played it again.
I don't remember that at all.
Okay. Well, I want to read off some of the other llamas coming out. Llama Party Edition. Don't know anything about that. Llama Kadabra. Use magic and llamas to avoid taking points.
Llama Kawa.
Llama Drama. Another way to get rid of your chips. I don't even see llama dice on here. But yeah, there's going to be a whole llama universe pretty soon.
Don't llama dice is what it's called.
Don't llama dice. Oh, okay, that's why
Don't llama
I put it in
dice.
alphabetical order. That's why.
Yeah, apparently Ramp won that. I do not remember that at all. Cool.
Cool.
So that is how much the dice game stuck with me. But llama, yeah, I bring it everywhere.
It's a good one.
I'm really curious if any of you have recommendations for games that come in really small boxes, something I could put in my pocket and bring to a game night.
You should post those in the comments. I have a funny thing about llama. I was at a family's house in Texas, and we played llama, had a good time with it. We get back here, and I get a letter in the mail that said, "Oh, we found this on the floor. It was one of the llama chips." So I didn't know if you needed that for your game. I was like, we totally could have picked that up next time.
Oh, that is so kind. Llama is another one I think works better with more people also. Like, so if you have like 5 people,
Yeah.
great, bring out llama. 3, boo hiss. You don't need to play llama with 3 people. 4, okay, but 5, now you're cooking. Now you're cooking. People are always asking, what are good games for 5 players? Llama. Fuji Flush. You can find llama though. It's easier to buy.
I need to play Fuji Flush at 5.
Bruh, you need to play it at 8.
We're having a game day soon. Maybe that'll be the day.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. But let's do this list. We're done with it. Top 10 small games. What did you think about it? Post it in the comments below. And until next time, the box is closed.